Hello YouTube. In this video, we're going to be looking at my boot setup. Okay, so starting to look a little bit at the equipment that I use. So firstly, why I'm talking about boots here in this video is because I had a couple questions come through to me and I thought I would just shed some light into my setup, particularly how I like to build and use my boots. And also, you know, the ski boot itself is such a incredibly important piece of equipment when you're skiing because it transfers your movement, your energy, your force into the ski, right? Like the ski boot is connected through the bindings. It's the closest thing that we have. Our feet live in it, and it's such a fundamentally important piece of equipment to get right. And just before I go into how I like to set up my boots, I want to make it really clear that each individual skier is unique, how their feet sit when they walk, their ankles, their knees, their hips. So it's really, really valuable that each and every skier gets their own pair of boots and they see a professional boot fitter, someone with a great deal of experience who knows what they're looking for, how the ski needs to perform, and essentially how to align the boot to the skier, to the leg, to the foot. The alterations and modifications to the boot I'm putting forward here in this video are unique to me, and through a lot of time, trial and error, repetition, I've figured out what works best for me, and that's what I encourage every skier to do with their boots with the help of a professional boot fitter. So I use an aftermarket liner. I use the ZipFit Corsa liner. This thing was recommended to me by a friend from Wanaka, the owner of Soul Lab, a guy named Woolf. He recommended this because I was having a bit of an issue with the volume in my Fisher boot. So when I went from Blizzard or Technica to Fisher, the shells are very differently shaped, and sort of where it's narrow in the Technica shell, it's wider, or there's more space in the Fisher shell, and vice versa, where it's wider in the Technica, it's narrower in the Fisher. So there was just a bit of a volume issue. Jace recommended this, and honestly, it was fantastic. So I absolutely love this liner. The little bit of sort of, you know, carbon-esque material on the outsides. It provides some stability. There's leather all the way through, so it fits really snug. And obviously for me, it takes up a little bit more space in the shell. Now, in terms of a footbed, I do use a footbed. The footbeds are made by a friend of mine named Reilly McGlashan, who is an excellent boot fitter and you know, alignment wizard, I guess I'd call him. And we make a very, very minimal footbed. There's not much. There's like no posting on it. It's just shaped to the bottom of my foot. And honestly, it's lovely. It allows me to move. It allows me to pronate, supinate inside the boot. And so it's a fantastic footbed for that. So the liner, the footbed, aftermarket, ZipFit Corsa, couldn't recommend this enough. And then if we get to the shell, the pied de resistance, this Fisher World Cup podium shell is a new construction that a friend of mine, Fabi, who works at Brindle Sports here at their flagship store in Kaprun, we came up with this. So if you can see, there's no branding on the top part of the shell. That's just because this is the slalom cuff. So this is a 170 or a 3-1 flex rating from Fisher, their slalom cuff. And down here we have the GS, the 4-1 150 GS clog. It's a brilliant setup. I love how responsive it is laterally. I was a bit anxious, maybe it's going to be a bit too stiff, but Fabi reassured me that the stiffness fore and aft, a lot of it is all down to the clog, not the cuff. So it just provides me really good sort of lateral feel, responsiveness, and I couldn't be happy with that. I have 5mm risers or lifters on the toe and the heel, and then I've got a little bit of tibial varum. That's something Reilly detected within my sort of alignment some years ago, and so I cant my cuff out by 1/2 degree on both boots. So there's a little bit of canting to the outside. The other thing is I like to have quite a thick booster strap, so I tape up some 3mm sort of rubber inserts that come with the Fisher podium. I just duct tape them up. It provides me a little bit of extra stiffness because of the duct tape, but also it sort of wraps really nicely around the top part of the ZipFit liner, so I feel very connected when the boot's done up and when I'm going skiing. So yeah, that's my equipment setup, that's my boots. Couldn't recommend the Corsa liner enough, and the Fisher Podium is a fantastic boot as well. So thanks for watching the video, and see you guys soon.